Hi everybody, good afternoon and happy Tummy Tuesday. So you are in the kitchen with your girl, culinary nutritionist, that's me, Keisha Lu. So how is everybody feeling today? So I'm super excited. I actually want to do something quite different here, and I actually want to take an approach where for the next couple weeks I actually want to cook foods that are going to assist specific conditions, okay? So today we are dealing with gluten-free. Now, I'm not gonna lie to a lot of you, when it comes to gluten-free, sometimes like, ugh, tastes like dirt, tastes like mud. I get it. A lot of the things are dry, and it's all about balance, right? It's all about finding that happy balance, especially when using gluten-free grains, okay? And that's exactly what we are going to do today. So I want to do gluten-free apple pancakes. Okay, so again, for those of you who don't know me, I'm your culinary nutritionist, Keisha Luke, located in the Toronto area. I offer meal services, so it's actually cooked meals delivered directly to your home. And as well, I do any in-home caterings, nutritional coaching, meal planning, meal prepping, you name it, I got you, all right? So I am your girl. So right now, actually what I'm doing is I'm actually melting some butter here. So I know in the ingredient sections I said, you know, you have to have the butter melted, about 2 tablespoons. If you don't want to use butter, okay, and again, butter is, the good butter, of course, is a good fat, all right? Never forget that. If you don't want to use butter, you can substitute it for coconut oil. They're both very, very good, okay? It's great. So I'm actually just, as I said, just kind of melting here. And I want to give a shout out to my bro, Dvanny. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He actually got me this little pot and I'm super excited. So I'm using it today. I loves it. Okay. So let's get started. So for those of you who are just beginning, who are just starting out with us right now, let's get some butter melted, okay? 2 tablespoons of butter and or coconut oil. As well, get your pans ready to go, so on medium heat, and turn on your oven to about 200 degrees. And the only reason why I say that is because as we are making our pancakes, or apple pancakes, we're gonna put them in the oven to stay warm, alrighty? So, I'm just turning on this stove to medium heat. Let's bring everybody closer here. Okay, alrighty, so I'm super excited. Now today we are actually doing some recipe testing, okay? This is a new recipe that I would like to try, and I want everybody else to try it with me. So I'm like, why not? So let's get in the kitchen together. Get your bowls ready, okay? And what we are going to do, we're gonna mix our dry ingredients first, and then we are going to mix our wet ingredients. Okay, so let's get that started. So we are gonna use 1 cup of gluten-free flour. I am going to mix my flours when it comes to gluten-free, so I am going to use 1/2 cup of buckwheat, okay? And I'm gonna use 1/2 cup of brown rice flour. I love using brown rice flour just because I find that it's light and it's almost like a substitute for using like an all-purpose white flour, okay? But again, when it comes to gluten-free flours, I do highly suggest kind of mixing the flours as well, because then you're going to actually get that nice texture that we're looking for when it comes to pancakes, or let's say even like, you know, dumplings, or any kind of baking that you're doing in cakes and anything like that, okay? So, and buckwheat, how you can tell the difference between the two. So brown rice flour is actually quite a little bit lighter. As you can see, it almost looks like a white all-purpose flour, but it's not. And we have buckwheat. So buckwheat is a little darker in color and a little bit more dense, okay? So that goes in, so 1/2 cup of buckwheat, 1/2 cup of brown rice flour. Then we are going to use 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar. All right, I'm actually going to use about 1.5 tablespoons, just because I do find that when it comes to coconut sugar, it is quite sweet than the basic normal sugar, so you can even use 1 tablespoon, okay? And of course, we know that that is gluten-free as well, the coconut sugar, which tastes absolutely amazing. We are going to use 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Absolutely love that. So that goes in. We're gonna use about 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And we are going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. Loves it, loves it, loves it. Alrighty, and we are going to whisk that together. Okay, so here we go. Smells absolutely divine, and of course we know now is the time for apples, apple season, whether it's apple pie, apple pancakes, what do you call it? Mushed up apples, however you want it. I'm all a fan of the apples and the pumpkins and all of that right now as we are in fall. Kind of doesn't feel like it sometimes, but that's okay. All right, so we mix all that up now. Now we're gonna get our wet ingredients together. So 1 egg. Okay. And we're gonna use about a teaspoon to half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I'm just gonna put that in. Oh, and there goes the oven. Beautiful. And we're gonna use 1 cup of milk. I'm using a coconut milk with a non-dairy milk. I actually mix the two together because I kind of love that coconutty taste, especially with apples and using the spices like the allspice and all that. I love that taste, so I kind of mixed mine together. And we're gonna whisk. Okay, so you want to create some little bubbles here to get it a little lighter. So as you can see, okay, beautiful. One more thing I forgot to mention, we are going to use 2 teaspoons of baking powder, okay? Not baking soda, but baking powder. All right, and that's gonna go in the dry ingredients. So 1 and 2. Excellent. Okay, so just mix that in when it comes to the dry ingredients. I can't wait, I'm super excited. Oh my goodness. Okay, get your pans ready, get your pans ready. So we have it on about medium heat here. Okay, and what we're gonna do, we are going to add our wet ingredients and the dry ingredients. And we're gonna get that whisking. Loves that. Okay, and just start to whisk everything together. So this is how we're creating our batter now for the apples. And it's okay, you may find that there may be a little bit of clumps. That's okay. A little bit of clumps never hurt nobody. All right, now get your apples ready. So our apples, we already cored and we already sliced them, okay? So I could see it. So this is exactly what you want it to look like. All right, and this is actually going to be our pancakes. So we're gonna put that in. And oh, and of course, the butter. We have to make sure that that's a little cool. Yep. So we're gonna place our melted butter in here as well. Don't forget about that. And or the melted coconut oil, okay? You can use either one, whichever one works for you. It's all good. Alrighty, and we're just gonna batter this. See? And we're gonna put that in the pan. Now, if you're not using a non-stick pan, you may need to grease it as well. So I'd suggest using any coconut oil or some, even some olive oil if you would like. Beautiful. And we're gonna continue doing that for the remainder of the apples here. It smells so decadent. I love it. And of course, if you like more cinnamon, if you like more allspice, add in more. Don't be afraid. I love, remember, herbs and spices, they assist in healing the gut. So these are actually gut-friendly foods. You can have this on the go, let's say breakfast on the go. Great for kids, even as a snack, even for yourself. If you are that 9 to 5 desk junkie and you find yourself eating crap, right? Do things like this. You can even make it, let's say, at night, the night before, and just prep yourself. Keep it in the fridge until you're ready for it the next morning. Okay. This is great. Alright, get your spatulas ready as well. Okay, I want everybody to take a look at this. Check this out. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have the apples. You want to make sure, see the little bubbles, how they're forming little bubbles? That's how you know that it's cooking. So that's what we're looking for right now. Okay, we want to get it bubbling. And once you see a few of the bubbles forming, then that's when we are going to flip our pancakes. Okay, let's get that out of the way. All right, and just so we have a closer look here. Yay, look at that, look at that. Super excited. Oh. It smells so good. I want to eat them now. See, so they actually create some pancakes. Oops, some of them actually, the hole, as you can tell, it kind of covers it. It's okay, it's all good. So it actually looks like a real pancake. But meanwhile, as we know, there's apples inside of it. Also, just to add something, when it comes to this recipe as well, I would also suggest, if you want to do a light saute of the apples prior to making it, like putting it in the batter and stuff, by all means. So what I would suggest is do almost like a saute in a pan with some butter or coconut oil, and you would add your spices, so your cinnamon, your allspice and all of that, and just so that it almost becomes a little bit softer, right? You want to kind of get it to a little bit mushy, if you would like, very, very slightly, because you still want to maintain the crunch in order to coat the batter over it, okay? And then you put it in the pan and start, and basically just start cooking it. That's also a way, because then it also will infuse the flavors as well. Make it so delicioso. So whichever way works for you. Again, have fun, make love in the kitchen. All right, so I'm gonna check on these bad boys. Let's see how they are doing. Okay. Let's get our plates ready to go. This looks super yummy, 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 yummy. I'm super excited. Look at this. They're quick, they're easy. It takes about 3 to 4 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes on each side. We're gonna let that cook a little bit more. Look at that. How awesome is that? We have our apple pancakes ready to go. I'm gonna cook these for a little bit more. Okay, let's get that going. Get your maple syrup ready, y'all, because we are gonna dig in. Okay. So that cook for a bit, and I'm going to get my maple syrup. Ooh, all right. And of course, as many of us know, and if we don't know, Some of the great benefits when it comes to apples as well is they're great for our digestive system, okay? That's why it's very, very important that, again, we are intaking our whole foods and daily, especially. And when I say that, I'm speaking about our fruits and vegetables, okay? So actually, when it comes to the apples, there's some of the acid in the apples that actually helps to break down as well gallstones and things like that. So it's really, really good. And especially if you do suffer from digestive issues. Some people may not be able to intake apples, and that's where I suggest using some other fruits, okay? Whether it's pineapples, papayas, all of that. Check it out, check it out, check it out. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Let's get this started. I'm going to get a fork. Let's shut off our pans. Fork and knife. Here we go, here we go. Let's take a look at this. That looks so tasty. Bottoms up, y'all. So good. So good. So as I mentioned, when it comes to recipe testing, especially this, I give this a thumbs up. Awesome, 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 the apple pancakes. The one thing I would do differently though, and if you were in the kitchen with me and we're making this together, when it comes to the coconut sugar, as I said, it is a lot sweeter than other sugars. I would actually suggest only using 1 tablespoon versus the 2 tablespoons because it could get much, or even maybe about half of that. Especially because the apples already are sweet and you're going to be putting on maple syrup over, right? So, oh my goodness, this is so good. Super good. And again, if you don't like the apples too crunchy, that's again where I'd suggest doing a light saute prior to actually putting this in the pan. So good. So again, you were in the kitchen with your culinary nutritionist, Keisha Luke. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for watching me. And for those of you who are my ghost washers, what's up, Auntie Dale? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Come out and let's cook together. Let's make some serious love in the kitchen, y'all. Until Thursday, where we have our nutrition education. Be well, everybody. Show love, 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 love to yourself and your foods and your gut. And love to other people. Thank you for watching, all right? Please feel free to hit me up, contact me, send me any PMs, any DMs, okay? And especially if there's any recipe that you would love for us to cook together in the kitchen, especially if it's one of your favorite recipes and let's say you want to make it in a healthier way, please feel free, shoot me a message, let me know, even send me the recipe, and let's remake it together, all right? Thank you for watching. Love you all. Peace.